Welcome to another episode of the Online Prosperity Experience podcast. You're about to hear your host, Prosper Taravinga's powerful digital marketing strategies and actionable tactics that you can use right now. Prosper has helped more than 50,000 people from over 10 countries to create meaningful businesses that are profitable and enjoyable. Listen to this podcast so that you too can build your own business with less stress and overwhelm. Let's get started.
Blackjack, roulette, and slot machines. Bring your poker face and play blackjack on whatever it is you're gambling with these days. Let me tell you something. Today's podcast is a little bit different. And if you're joining us for the first time, I'm going to be taking you on a tour around the casino, where I'm going to advise you not to gamble, but just invest smarter. Okay, so obviously you might be wondering what's going on today? Why is he talking about gambling and everything else? When we're working with small to medium businesses, all right, each and every one of us is taking a gamble. Each and every one of us is trying to go somewhere. And, we're taking risks and we're putting ourselves on the line just so we can get a result. But some people don't want to do the work. Some people just want to work quicker, so they can get everything cheaper, better, faster. Well, let me tell you something, my friend. You should not gamble, especially with your business, especially with your reputation and, your legacy. And I'm going to be telling you why you shouldn't gamble and actually put in the work, and how I resist trying to fall for instant gratification. And if you're the person that likes instant gratification, you will notice that it's taken me a while to really introduce this podcast today, and it was done on purpose because those people that can't wait to actually get to the meat of what we're going to be going through have probably scrolled past and now maybe playing online gambling and wasting their life, time, and effort away. But let me tell you something. Now, recently, things are open. Yay! We can go out and meet people and gamble and do everything else in life. Make instant money, play the lottery or whatever it is that you're doing for money these days. I recently spent a weekend at the Crown Casino. We had just, received, a gift that we couldn't cash in. Because of the pandemic. So I took my family, we were sitting there and we're just marveling how they've just done up the space, at Crown Casino. If you haven't been in Melbourne, the restaurants, the entertainment area, there's a casino there. There's just about any entertainment that you could find in Las Vegas, all right? There's a hotel and spa and, stuff that, celebrities experience. You can actually experience if you go on there, so we were touring this whole big, beautiful, and getting into all these imaginative bars and restaurants, and just watching a lot of people gambling. Well, let me tell you something. I did not gamble, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But you don't need to risk money to get the thrill of maybe the Las Vegas feel, especially if you haven't got the nerve or if you haven't got the discipline to not spend your life earnings, okay? So just like Crown Casino or Las Vegas, I knew that, the splash and all that, fancy casino and entertainment that I was seeing, it's just stuff that happens in the movie, which is basically flashy and cheap. Let me tell you, the Crown Casino we went to was huge, was opulent, it was almost tasteful. There's a scent that you smell whenever you go into the hotel rooms or just in the hotel lobby, you know what I mean? It's just super, super good, and it makes you feel at home. And one of the friends that we were with, who is guru in maybe history, and he studied the Roman Empire, and you can tell they're of Italian descent because that's where my wife is from. He kept shaking his head and warning, this is surely going to be the end of the Australian empire because it doesn't look like anything in Australia. It's just out of this world. And I understood what he meant, in terms of the size, the sumptuousness, the spectre of whatever was happening. There's no other place in Melbourne or in Victoria that looks like Crown Casino. The vast and opulent malls that are in there. All of that is just, a masterpiece, and it's a replica of anything you could ever think of. I've been on a cruise before, and it's just spectacular, and Crown Casino was just the embodiment of that, okay? It was such a really good experience, and this is how they seduce the entire population. Take the Crown Casino hotel, which has all this information. I was reading somewhere that it was opened in 1997, and you can think that's almost 20 years ago, but it still has the look and feel of something that was opened yesterday. So Crown Casino is this large integrated resort, and it has a casino. It's got 3 hotels, function rooms. It's got award-winning restaurants. It's got shopping and entertainment facilities. It is actually a significant driver of tourism within Australia in and of itself, particularly in Victoria. And it's apparently licensed to operate 2,628 electronic gaming machines, 540 table games, with a casino license that extends up to the year 2050. I kid you not, this guy's mean business, all right? So, if you are just inside, first class restaurant, if you go outside, this sounds like a commercial for Crown Casino, doesn't it? Stay with me. I'll get to the crust of what I'm about to tell you about this. So there's stuff happening in the restaurants. There's eateries, there's buffets. There's at least 3 or 4 first-class restaurants, and I heard that there's one club in there that somebody paid over $5,000 for a cocktail, and you can just think, wow, what is actually happening? There's a show happening maybe every 30 seconds. There's a leg-sized pond that actually separates the hotel from the actual boulevard, and then there's waterworks that are happening. It's just a wonder of science and computer engineering and plumbing all mixed together that actually provides you a spectacular, maybe 3-dimensional representation of anything that is happening within, or whatever the theme is happening, within that hotel. So I heard it costed over $1 billion to build, and they pay almost $0 rent. And it actually feels like it. I mean, you are walking into the future. You're walking into opulence, money, everything else that you can think of. So you could spend a week inside those walls, and you could never lack anything to do. And the Crown Casino, just like any other casino hotel outside there, it's just there to bring people to actually start paying money. All right. And so any sort of entertainment you can think of, it's there. They've thought it out for you. And your mind tells you, it's too much, but your heart can't resist any of it. At least not for a long weekend. It depends on how much you're packing. So let's get around to what we're supposed to be talking about. This is a podcast about growing your business. This is a podcast about you, creating for and relating to your audience. And what's Crown or a casino got to do with any of this? And are you wondering when I'm going to transition to some useful stuff, which is not about gambling, some bit about business, or, advice about creating a business that's profitable and enjoyable? Or maybe am I going towards a secret to wealth building? You see, I was wondering that myself while I was walking in the hallways of Crown Casino. Sure, there are lessons to be learned from all this, and I'm sure there will be, but we may have to wait a bit. I just want all of this to sink in, okay? You see, I could make the obvious, these, observations so you can actually start understanding what it is that I'm talking about. At Crown Casino, there is no good television, or there are no mini bars in many of the hotel rooms, okay? No, are they random places for you to just sit, except in front of slot machines and blackjack tables? Those are the only places where you can sit. If you're walking around the casino area, you will notice there's not just free seats that are not directed towards either the bar or directed towards some sort of gambling that will be happening. And you will notice ladies who are walking around with their husbands just clutching their purses, sitting in front of a machine but looking away from it, because there is no place to sit unless you're sitting in front of a slot machine. And that has been done deliberately. And I'll be showing you why that is very effective. And you can't even brush your teeth if you're staying in the hotel without wandering past maybe, adverts about gambling or any gambling opportunity that might be present. You can actually use your key card, the one that is in your room, to initiate a gambling transaction. So they make it super, super easy for you to spend money. And this interesting thing about such manipulations is that they're noticed and accepted with good humor, because the people that this is being done to do not actually see what is happening to them. Everyone comments on them, but with a kind of bemused sort of admiration. Oh, I couldn't get a place to sit. Yeah, you were crying. What do you expect? All the walkways are designed to not go in a straight line, so that you just keep going around in circles, and before you know it, it's daytime. And in all the gaming areas, it's dark inside there, and there's a consistent light, consistent smell that you never see where the time has gone. So is there a lesson in this? Probably, but it's not clear to me what it is. I'm hoping you are starting to get where I'm going with this. Okay. There's also a secret in the way that the Crown Casino gives away maybe room and board next to nothing, so that you can empty your bank account on all the gaming tables. So they make it easy for people to do business with them. That's where their money is. And like I mentioned to you, Crown Casino is licensed to operate 2,628 electronic gaming machines and about 540 tables. So at any given moment, each and every one of these electronic gaming machines is just siphoning money. And they've got a license that extends to yet another 30 years from today. All right, this is 2022. They've got a license up to 2050. So they are not done yet. Okay, so everything is engineered to empty your bank accounts on the gambling tables. And it gives the average Joe a chance, the average Joe, the schmucks out of there, a chance to stay maybe in a hotel room, which they normally wouldn't afford if there wasn't a gambling undertone to it. Or maybe they'll actually be prohibited from staying in such a resort area, which gives such opulence and access, to celebrities from all over the world. So you can travel to places like Crown and you feel like you're enjoying or staying at a bargain, but you leave your big money at the tables. But you leave feeling, not like you've been tricked into overspending, but you've had a great time and you just ran into bad luck at the same time. So they make it easy for you to come back again, because they don't make the process for you to initiate transactions with them difficult. So let me tell you something. I don't gamble because it looks a lot much more like work. I'm going to bring it down back a little bit to real work and real business, and I can understand when you're working hard to grow your business. Maybe you're cold calling potential clients and having them hang up in your face, and you're sending out hundreds of emails without getting as much as, hey, thanks for reaching out, and you're wasting thousands of dollars on ad spend without generating any qualified leads. What have you done in terms of entertaining those people? What have you done in terms of inspiring them to want more, be more, and achieve more? What have you done in order to engage them, in order to want more, of the products and services that you're offering? What have you done to provide value? Have you seen all the things that I'm talking about? How the Crown Hotel or casinos have thought already about how they would want their customers to feel when they show up and pay money to them. They want them to feel like it's a bargain. Because you know what? They've already been offered all this nice environment. They've already been offered all these good smells, all this exposure to whatever it is that they couldn't have. So they would feel like just putting $200 is a fair transaction towards the nice things that they might have enjoyed already. Now look at this. Does your website feel like Crown Casino? Does your website make it feel easy for people to just wallow in whatever you've created and say, wow, whatever this person is going to be charging, I wouldn't mind. You know why? Because I've already gotten value, I've already been educated, and I've already been inspired to want more, be more, and have more. Now you see where all of this is coming from. All right? So at the end of the day, what are you doing to create that perceived value? So that when somebody looks at that $200, they don't feel like they're spending much. But look at it, $200 times 2,628 electronic gaming machines, all going at the same time. How much money is that? How much money are they making? So you'd notice that at the beginning of our conversation today, obviously at the podcast, I told you that I don't gamble. And that's a strange thing, really, because other than gambling, I've never met a bad habit that I didn't like. I love eating chocolate, I love eating candy, and all of those things, but I don't gamble. All right? I don't gamble because I get no pleasure from it. And because it's so clear to me that I'm going to lose money. All right, I cannot be tricked by the lights behind, a slot machine or an electronic gaming machine. So if you believe you can beat the system, I'm going to try to talk to you about it. Just ask yourself these questions. Tell me something. How are those billion-dollar casino properties being paid for? How is it that at the Crown they have a garden so opulent that it takes about 70 full-time employees just to maintain it? This is not charity. Okay? Seriously, at the end of the day, some people are just happy because they're spending 3 hours and they lose maybe $100 or so, and they don't have the illusion that they're actually going to make any money in the long run, but they like the exchange that the casino gives you. Of course, they're not just going to, let you hemorrhage money without you winning something in return. No. They will give you some sort of hope. You lose $100, they give you $10 back. You lose $200, they give you $20 back. Let me tell you something. So don't gamble with your properties. Don't gamble with the work that you're supposed to be doing. Stop taking chances. Do the work. Show up. Be of value. Because when you do that, people would want to pay for, access. So sometimes work is fun. Sometimes fun is work. The odds favor working. Put in the work. So when you feel like no one wants to buy what you're selling, and when you rely on your business to pay rent and put food on your table, it can actually put an enormous strain on your emotions. You start getting terrified on having to give up on your dreams just simply because you can't get leads. Like I keep talking. If you walk into any casino, just look around you. What you'll see is people stooped over, locked in some sort of battle with these electronic gaming machines, in some sort of concentration. Their eyes are tired, their mouths are drawn with concentration. They wander into that. If you wander into that sports betting area and you see men in little cubicles that are refrigerator-sized cubicles, glancing at some video screen and watching horses running across the screen. They're scratching calculations and betting forms, and they're executing orders and putting in more money for dogs, for whatever, event is on the table. It's eerily reminiscent of a brokerage or maybe a stock trading floor. If they would have put all this energy into creating something that lasts, into creating something that will, some people would appreciate, I can bet there will be so many entrepreneurs out there. All that concentration, all that focus, all those calculations, all that long hours. Don't get me wrong, it all seems like work to me. Work that you're not going to get paid for. And the only difference is that if you're at Crown Casino or at any, casino, the odds are actually stacked against you. How about if you bet on yourself? You bet on your work, you bet on your message, you bet on identifying your target market, you clarify your message, and you put work that is going to hatch into something that you are proud of later on, instead of betting against you, just following instant gratification. So in any other field of endeavor, You could take the same people and put them to work doing virtually the same things. The concentrating, the figurating, the calculating, the executing, the patience. And you'd almost certainly have a viable business. I just wish these people could put their efforts in something that actually works for them. Like I show up every single day for this podcast. I'm not gambling, hoping that somebody, is going to show up on my table the next day and say, hey, I've seen your work out there. Let's do business. No, I'm creating it. But let me tell you, not in a casino. So stop making your world a casino. Over the long haul, gambling makes you poor. Spending the same time and effort in almost any other endeavor, you are likely to get richer. You know why? Because you're building on your own property. You're building on your own strengths. You're building on your own legacy. You're building on your own reputation. You're building on your own brand. So stop trying to build on other people's areas. So it's more like social media, really, when you're posting, tweeting, and everything else. That, if you're not driving that traffic back home to your website or to your own properties, that you can convert that traffic, that is gambling. Yes, it is part of marketing and everything else, but if that traffic is not going back to your website, then you're just wasting everybody else's time, including your own. So why is it that so many people like to gamble and don't like to work? I mean, I understand we all want to keep dreaming the dream. You know what I mean? We all just want something that comes easy. Is it the allure of big money? As a friend of mine once said, how else does the average schmack get a chance to make $1 zillion? Sometimes they might look into the lottery. Sometimes they might look into robbing a bank. Sometimes they might start growing trees, the ones that they were told when they were growing up that money doesn't grow on trees. You see, that may be the problem. Because the average schmack, working hard and smart is not a good way to make a fortune. Gambling somehow allures them. For them, it's somehow better. But that's not it. There's importance in common sense. If you put in the work, if you actually stop and create for and relate to your audience, then you will know that you are creating pathways in which people will follow and actually start wanting to work with you. Because it is possible. 100% possible for the average schmack to become wealthy. It is. But half of the wealthy guys that I know, hey, there are some lucky schmacks out there. And I myself began as a schmack. Voted likely to end up in Schmacktown and schmack on. So I know. I just want to say something. Success comes from working hard and working smart. Working hard and working smart. And working hard, you understand. Working smart, A, means getting a cut of the action, and B, not risking your money when the odds are stacked against you. There are a lot of casinos out there. I call it the guru casino area, where, you just go in hoping somebody has that trick, that 5-minute app, that 5 steps to something that's going to change your life or whatever it is. It's all just putting money on a slot machine, hoping you get something back. Now, this is how you can actually stop gambling and enjoy your life's work by smart investing. If you stick to listening to the Online Prosperity Experience, obviously you will get information like this, which is just random, but you also learn dozens of ways to get a piece of the action. Just as importantly, you'll be encouraged and you'll be chastised or forced into doing so. And then you'll be on your way. You'll be getting richer each and every single day. But to become the wealthy you have to learn to keep, all the wealth that you earn. And that means saying no to gambling. So whatever you've earned, don't put it away to people that are just going to be shiny electronic gaming machines that are designed to just grab money from you. Gambling is a sucker's game. The odds are always stacked against you. The comms, well, you might get something. They're a little bit useful. Just like if you get flowers from maybe your wife's boyfriend, I don't know. Don't gamble. Not in your work, at least. Not even at Crown. But every once in a while, run into a business deal that sings, hey, play me. This could be creating content. This could be actually engaging with your audience. All right. This could be educating your audience on what to want and not just expecting them to fall, into your marketing. All right. So don't gamble with your website. Get a professional, person that's going to help you create that for you. Don't gamble with your lead generation. Get a digital marketer that will be able to help you out. And if you check out www.livelongdigital.com.au, we'll be able to just look at what it is that you're creating right now and maybe 10x it and amplify it so that you can start generating hundreds of qualified high-ticket leads like clockwork, so you never have to rely on cold calling or emailing just to beg clients to hire you, which is what a lot of people are doing out there, gambling. All right, don't gamble with creating your products or your services. If you come to Live Long Digital, we'll help you create diverse recurring revenue streams that will skyrocket your profitability and actually ensure your business remains 100% bulletproof. Even during market downturns, even during global pandemics, even when it's during lockdowns. Why? Because we would have created the systems and processes that help you create, clients automatically without you being involved. Don't gamble with your service provision and just hoping that clients are not going to see when you're putting out lackluster services out there. I want you to start delivering outstanding results to your clients, and you can actually start winning their loyalty for life. Because customers will sing praises to their family, friends, colleagues at barbecues, and even strangers on the bus. All right? And right now, don't gamble with what you're going to do next. And what I want you to do next is book a strategy call with me. All right? What I've just been telling you is part of what we call the online prosperity method. And it can be tailored to help any service business to actually explode in growth. So maybe you're a coach or consultant, you can actually achieve the same mind-blowing success that we've helped our clients achieve. But it doesn't mean that we're going to be taking just about any client. Because my client list is often full and my calendar is always booked in advance. You know why? Because I don't gamble on that. I automate the process. I make sure that we're creating for and relating to the audience that we're going to be, demanding money off of. So I only have space for a few extra businesses. And I'm only going to take people that are willing to work hard and follow their dreams and people that are not inclined to just gamble. So if you think you're going to Crown Casino, my friend, I'm sorry. But I want you to start attracting highly qualified leads who want what you've got in less than an hour a week without having to gamble or press any slot machine or anything else. So this is what I want you to do. If you say, I am not going to be gambling, I want you to repeat after me. I will not gamble. Let me hear that. Good on you. All right. So since you've said that, I want you to claim a free 30-minute business breakthrough call with me. All right. So on this non-obligation call, I want us to just go over your current situation and then just discuss your business goals. And then I'll give you a detailed marketing roadmap that actually outlines the exact steps that you can take to explode your sales within the next 90 days. All right. I don't want you to go out there gambling. So don't gamble. Not in Vegas. I know whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But guess what? You bring your bank account home to you. So don't gamble, in any guru casino that's out there. Do not gamble even in your own business. The next time the sirens sing to you, tighten up the ropes of self-restraint and wait till they sail on by, because there's always going to be a fantastic offer around the corner. A good businessman owns a piece of the casino. He doesn't gamble there. Let's go buy casinos, guys, and let's stop losing monies in Vegas. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, let's continue the conversation in the Live Long Digital community. Become a Live Long Digital community member today. This community is for ambitious entrepreneurs and small business owners with the drive to take control of the future of their businesses and achieve huge success without stress and overwhelm. As you heard, Prosper can help you by teaching you marketing strategies that work. So look no further than the Live Long Digital community of entrepreneurs and highly successful business owners. Join our community today. Find us on www.community.livelongdigital.com.au. Network with other driven entrepreneurs and find the expert guidance you need to take your business to the next level. www.community.livelongdigital.com.au